Alright, welcome everyone. As long as my audio is coming through, yeah, it's all good. Welcome everyone to round 7 of the Trackstars TS3. We are going to the wonderful country of Japan for the Tokyo night race around the streets of Tokyo. Uh, joining me in the com box is my lovely friendly commentator, and Spud as always.
Yes, good evening, DJ. Good evening, everybody. Yes, we are here live here at the Trackstars TS3 for round 7. Jeez, it's gone so quickly, DJ. We're on round 7 of round 10. Where has that time flown by? But yes, we are here live for our first night race here at Trackstars Racing Series, the first of the triple header of night races here at Tokyo, and the beautiful expressway, nice flowing corners, and with a long back straight. So it all depends on the driver's setup for TS2 and main series to get that set up crucial for the corners in the first section, as well as trying to not compromise their straight line speed down the back straight. But with these cars in TS3, it's all go, go, go. And I think from what I see, DJ, I believe we have our first Honda NSX making its debut in TS3. So that's a big congratulations.
Yeah, we do. It's ISR Matt Smucker in the, I think it's 660. The number board is very, very small and I cannot see it.
Yes,
So
it is. I will confirm it is 660, yes.
okay, yeah, so that's 660. But yeah, the honourable debut of the Honda NSX. So I would like to see how it goes around here. I had a bit of a test drive of it, and through the first sector, it's very, 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 very different to the Nissan. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a different feel for it for sure. It's definitely going to be used very well on the back straight. I think just those corners, it all just depends where you throw the brake settings at the rear just to get the car turned in a bit more, or even if you just keep it at the front just for a little bit more front end braking. But we'll find out very shortly as we get qualifying underway. What we do know, DJ, in this magnificent championship that is the Trackstars TS3 Championship, there's been two men leading the pack, but unfortunately one has promoted himself up to TS2 lane and will be debuting later this evening. But one man that's been leading the way in the car number 360 is the man himself for WRT Motorsport Warpath 360.
Yeah, he's had a really good showing lately, and obviously we can't have Cyric racing with us, but he may use pit glitch. We have a pit glitch here from Renegade. So we may have to red flag this. But yeah, it's been a very dominant showing by those two, and unfortunately we had Cyric pull out, but good on him, seeing him later tonight in the TS2. But I did some practice with him, and he goes, "Is there tuning?" And I go, "Yes." And he goes, "Oh, I'll pull out." So I did a bit of help with him with the tuning aspect side of things for here. So we'll hopefully see him.
So what car is he actually driving in the TS2?
I believe it will be the Nissan. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess going off his going from TS3 Nissan to the TS2 Nissan, so that probably makes a bit of sense. But it's shown a bit of class, bit of dominant performance with the Nissan so far, but then we've seen the likes of Matt Simmons driving the Honda NSX, and we've seen Nightwalker as well in the Honda NSX. Putting some good showing on for the Trackstars TS2 community, and in a way for that, it's been pretty awesome showing to see some of the Hondas that have that bit of heavier ballast on their cars actually be putting it up towards the front, and a guy like Nightwalker and Matt have done an exceptional job bringing those Hondas up the front.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, seeing what they can get out of the Hondas is very exceptional, but it just shows that if you put your head down and you work with it, it can give you the results. But I don't know about you, but I can't really say the same about the main series. The main series is pretty even, but obviously each different car has its own special track. So we did
Absolutely.
see the Honda NSX for the 66 CP car pretty much stay on, say, top 3 or 4 for the whole race. So yeah,
it didn't really even get out of the top 4 or 5. So it was a really good showing by CP, and it just shows that you got a class tuner in Woodsy handling the car and tuning the car up to his liking, and then trying to get him and Speedy Tyres, who you could say more or less they have the same kind of tuning or the same kind of driving style, very aggressive, very fast. good at tyre saving, good with fuel management. So I think you could say for those two guys, they have more or less a bit of similarities when it comes to racing the car. That's for sure.
Yeah, certainly. But obviously, we did see the number 4 in Jerem up there as well, and obviously the 95 was up there as well all day with Sim and with Matt, and it's racing with Jarman. But yeah, I guess they're all, if you can tune them right, they can definitely give you the results as we've lately seen by them. But Renegade looks like he's out on track, so we should be right to go this time by. But yeah, definitely I'll be wanting to see what they can do around here.
Absolutely, it'll be good to see. But we'll wait for the main series and TS2 to come around. We're going to get our TS3 qualifying take 2 here at Trackstars Racing Series, where qualifying is about to get underway to determine the pole position winner for the Tokyo Expressway South Inner Loop. It is myself and Spud P6 and Ryan Palmer, disappointed in the commentary box, calling the action here at Trackstars TS3, where we have Vossi leading the way in the ISR Nissan GTR. Let's have a look to see if Renegade is jumped out of the pits. Hopefully so. Have to keep an eye on that.
Get a hold of him.
Still in the pits as he jump out.
No, he's still got a pit glitch for him. We'll have to start him from the back, so we'll carry on with qualifying. Yeah, obviously that's unfortunate there for Renegade. We'll have to start him from the back, but we carry on with these kind of things, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess you could say in a way the run up to the start finish line isn't that far. It's literally you just got the exit, and then you've got a long straight, and then you've got a chicane to deal with, and then you've got the start finish line as we see Vossi and Warpath 360 start their flying lap. So Warpath has been on the charge with the victories when he hasn't been able to have Sirik on his rear vision mirror hassling him for victories. But it looks like Warpath's been taking a bit of a nice easy approach into qualifying as Vossi pulls out of the way very nicely. But you could say for Vossi in the number 40 that he's actually doing himself pretty good favours, and he's actually working very well to move his car towards the front end. As we've seen with at Bathurst, his performance at Bathurst was really strong. He just couldn't, unfortunately, get that car. So we see a bit of a battle there between Gordock and Vossi. So qualifying here is very crucial because everyone wants the slipstream. So it's very crucial. But like I was saying, I think for Vossi's sake, he's been doing really well. I think if he just finds a bit more performance out of that Nissan like Warpath does, then I'm pretty sure we could see either this race or the next round, we might see a challenger for Warpath for victories.
Yeah, certainly, and I don't know about you, but I've definitely seen Vossi get a lot faster since he did join the series back at, I believe it was Monza, but yeah, he's definitely come a long way, but I don't think he could get a clean lap in at Bathurst, which was unfortunate, but he definitely gave it a big run. But I wonder, being a different kind of track with the longer straights and stuff like that, on who will target. Yeah, it's a very rough run through that chicane there. And
through that chicane, you never know if someone's going to hit the barrier or not. It's quite cool. It's quite funny. As we see a few, we're going to see a couple of debutants in Dark 74 and EBM QE, but Dark's unfortunately has had to pull out. Apparently, like you said, it was some family connections, but that's okay. But we see the debut of EBM QE, so the first of the Leap Breaker mechanical cars on the grid. Unfortunately, there's no paint scheme. He's got slapped a couple of stickers and a number board. That's more than enough to get the car registered and to race. So EBMQ is getting his racing underway as we see provisional sitters at the front. We have Gordock 69 taking pole position so far, with Isa Matsumaka in second place in the first of the Honda NSXs, with Ben Stick 7 in third place, NZL Cowboy in fourth, and Oz, actually the second debutant actually is Oz Tormenta in the WRT Motorsports. So WRT recruiting their drivers very nicely, and they're doing really well to actually get their name out, and at least they're getting their name out in TS3, so that way it helps them develop for TS2 next year.
Yeah, sorry. Certainly, we'll see. I think we'll see a couple of these drivers progress into the TS2. They might work in the off season and see how quick they can go, but definitely looking at the entries for main series next year as well. We may even see WRT in the main series, but we've got a long off season ahead on deciding who we're going to pick.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be a challenging one, as we see Warpath 360 does take provisional pole position away from his teammate, but only by 0.3. So Gordok, this is the form that we saw from Gordok 69 back at Kyoto, DJ, where he wasn't near the front in for pole positions, but then on the last minute, he managed to take pole position off his teammate.
Oh, he's up by
in Warpath.
0.4.
Oh, nice. So he's been showing a bit of good forms. There's some tracks for him that works really well. So such as the Kyoto worked for him so well, and he did. I was talking to Warpath earlier a couple of days ago, and he's been saying Gordok has been having a bit of a on and off season, but when he does practice, you can definitely see him on the performance. And so far, holding second place with 3 minutes 20 to go, he should be good to. He probably should be looking at a front row, even not pole position.
Yeah, certainly. He was up by 0.4 in that first sector, but he's up by 0.6. This is a quick lap. Let me try if I can see Warpath. So Warpath is down. Warpath is down on his current time at the moment, and Gordok is up by 0.6. But this chicane is very crucial to your lap. You can either gain a lot of tenths, or you can lose a lot of tenths. So
he's run a bit wide, and he's hit the barriers. Oh, that is so unlucky for Gordok. That is so heartbreaking for Gordok 69. So we see Bedjeg jumping back into the lobby, so we might be able to get 2 ISTAR boys back in the lobby. But wow, that was a big shame. And Vossi's gone pole position. So far, advantage goes to Vossi, and this is one that we're talking about, DJ. Finding form, and Vossi's found that form perfectly. As we see, Matsumaka still in second place. Soul Reaper has moved up into third place. So we've got 3 of the top 5 coming from the WRT Motorsport, which I actually found out as well. WRT actually stands for War Paint Racing Team, DJ. So that's an interesting name for those guys. He said he came back from an old league racing series back in 2018. That was started by Warpath and Nightwalker, who was in TS2, and they've just gotten together with a few mates, and you could say more or less it's become a bit of a family relations, because if you look through the grid, you can see Oz Soul Reaper, who is in 5th place. He is the actual father of Nightwalker 964, and Oz Tormentor is his brother, Nightwalker's brother as well. And then you have Gordok 69, who is the uncle of Nightwalker. So it's a family affair here at Trackstars Racing Series.
Yeah, I did remember that. I was practicing with them at Spa, and they were talking about something or other like that. But yeah, it's definitely a family affair. But at the moment, we've got Vossi in first, Warpath in second, Gordok in third, Isab Matsumaka in fourth, and Oz Soul Reaper in fifth at the moment. So the top 4 are currently separated by 0.7.
Vossi goes faster, so sorry, I apologise there. Vossi just did improve his lap. Soul Reaper improved his to 5th, but still not able to make up any position. So it's the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. Gordok's not going to get that lap in because he's just run a touch wide on that final corner, on that first corner there, which is very crucial. That can lose you anywhere between 0.1 to about 0.6 of a lap. But we see Warpath has gone sector best. He's 0.4 up on his sector best, so it's not the fastest, but he's going to be, looks like it could be faster than Vossi. But we'll have to keep an eye on that very shortly. But yeah, as we've been saying, WRT, War Paint Racing Team are the teams to be looking out for in the main series and in TS2 and in TS3 next year.
Yeah, certainly. As we got 30 viewers in the chat, we do have Sirik in the chat saying, well, this is getting interesting, mate. I can tell you, it's getting very interesting at the moment, but we can see Vossi's gone a 31, then a 24.6, a 24.2, and a 23.9, so it looks like he's getting more and more comfortable with the track the more he practices. So I wonder, will Vossi get his debutant win tonight?
Not just so much a debutant win. Can he get himself a debutant pole position, his first pole position here at Trackstars TS3? As we come to the line for the finish, can Vossi hold off pole position? He doesn't. But what about Warpath? Can he snatch pole position? He doesn't. He stays in second place behind Vossi, and we have to keep an eye on the rest of the field, guys. So as Matsumaka is looking to be on a blue lap here, as we keep an eye on that section, as we see Benstick run a bit wide. And Matsumaka, oh, he's lost the tail, and the car is very tail happy, DJ. But I don't think we're going to see any challenges, and I believe he's the last one across the line, and there's no improvement on his lap. So that's it. The streak is over between Warpath and Sirik for pole positions. We have a new pole sitter in Vossi for the ISO racing team. So big congratulations to Vossi for taking out pole position at race 1 here at Trackstars Racing Series TS3 Championship For round 7 for the Tokyo Sprint, we have the debuting pole sitter in Vossi taking first place with Warpath 360 in second, Gorda in third, Matsumaker in fourth, and also Reaper in fifth, with honourable mentions KPL Baseman and QE in sixth and seventh, with NZL Cowboy rounding up the top 8.
Yeah, definitely. Look at that. You've got Vossi on the front row as pole position there, getting his debutant pole position. So I'd definitely be very proud if I was Vossi there. But,
Absolutely. So as we get a bit of a red flag amongst drivers, we'll have to cut back to the action very shortly and hopefully get everybody onto the grid. And then obviously if Renegade can't make a move on the track, then unfortunately he might have to maybe call it and maybe make this round a drop round, but we'll have to wait and see.
yeah, certainly. We'll wait and see on how that happens. But as I get all of this set up,
Yep.
I shall put special mention to a big announcement we've got in the main series over the last couple of days of the withdrawal of V Papa in the number 4.
It was a big shame for V Papa AT to not finish the championship at Track Stars Racing Series for the Elite Breaking Mechanical Touring Cars. A big shame that he hasn't been able to, we can't get him to commit, or he can't commit to finishing off the season, unfortunately, as a few net code problems amongst drivers, and most likely, I think he's got a lot of school stuff to do as well. So big shame for him to miss out, as he did make the cutoff for the top 8. To snatch victory, who could actually take the victory in the Touring Car Championship. But it's a bit sad amongst the Trackstars community to see him withdraw his number 4. But he has a very good replacement in Speedy Tyres coming in, filling the voids for the next few races.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, it's unfortunate that he had to pull out because he definitely was in the chance for the title fight. So yeah, it's very unfortunate to see that happen, but I'll be very excited to see what Speedy has in store at the moment.
Absolutely. Well, if we saw that pace from Speedy and Woodsy at Mount Panorama, what else can we expect from those guys tonight? So anything can happen, and obviously we're going to have Speedy Tyres join us for the next couple of weeks before he moves on to his committed racing series elsewhere. That runs at the same time as us, and hopefully we might be able to see another driver from the CP Motorsport entry jump in the number 4 CP Motorsports Honda.
Yeah, it'll definitely be one to watch out for, and I know that Chase will be definitely getting his head around on who he's going to put in and stuff like that, and he's definitely got his work cut out for him at the moment.
Exactly. So there's a lot of work for him to do as we sort the grid out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll hopefully get this race underway very shortly. I will make a reminder for our TS2 drivers. Your pre-qualifying lobby will be starting in about 13 minutes time, as I think we'll be having a pre-qualifying lobby, but unfortunately there's going to be one driver that's going to miss the cut, DJ. So qualifying is going to become really crucial around this track, especially if you can get that last chicane right.
Yeah, and I know in practice I did kind of get really bouncy through that chicane. Yeah, so it's going to be very hard, especially coming into the braking zone of that one.
Exactly, and as we look through the chats, like you said, Sirix join us in the lobby, join us in the chat, and we see Budsy, the Toll MSR driver, in the chat. He's supporting his mate Vossi in the Tier 3 Championship. Budsy did bring Vossi along into the championship just to have a bit of fun, have a bit of a crack at racing, and obviously he brought him in at the wrong time because he's now on pole position on round 7. So finally we're about to get our race underway. Fingers crossed for Renegade 575 to hopefully for him to get the lights and to take the first race from the back of the grid. So the ISR boys are at the back of the grid, but we have one ISR racing driver on pole position, and that belongs to Vossi. Well deserved for Vossi, taking pole ahead of Warpath and Gorda at the top 3, with honourable mentions to Matsumaker and the Epson NSX in 4th place, with Soul Reaper rounding at the top 5. So we're looking for the main start, DJ. Who have we got to lead into turn 1?
I'm aiming towards Vossi, but the camera's a little bit glitched here, so we're going to be very zoomed in.
And lights are out, we go, green flag racing, and Bossie's got himself a great start. Unfortunately, Renegade has not taken the start, and looks like he won't be making a move, so that'll be an early retirement for him. But we see Warpath get the second phase of that jump, and he's actually taking the lead of the race ahead of Vossi. We see Gorik and Manstay in fourth, Kiwi up into fifth place. Soul Reaper's lost a position in one, and Benjo coming back of the grid into seventh place there, so that's a good performing start performance by Benjo in seventh place. We see KPL Baseman and SS Boy 82 in ninth place. So a great start for everybody, especially for Benjo, DJ. That's a nice start for him.
Yeah, and I know he's been practicing really, really hard because if anyone didn't know, Benjo's actually making another appearance in main series tonight for the EBM. So he'll be in the Nissan there. So I know he's been working very, very hard practicing this track for tonight. So he's got a long 19 lap race ahead of him. Sorry, two 19 lap races ahead of him. As he's having a bit of a battle here with KPL Baseman. But yeah, he's going to take it to the main series and see what he's got. So he'll be definitely getting his head out of the TS3 Lexus and into the main series Nissan, so it's a bit of a big of a jump. But as we jump back to the front here, we've got Vossi really taking it to Warpath, but one little mistake here and Warpath will definitely lose that position.
Oh, absolutely, and these guys are battling tooth and nail. These guys, it's about 7/10 the gap between Warpath and, actually 3/10, my apologies, between Warpath and Vossi, with Gordic 69 dropping a little bit further back than what he would have thought, what we would have seen in qualifying. So unfortunately for him, he's just dropping back, but he's dropping into the clutches of ISO Matsumaker in the Woodstock Honda NSX in fourth place there. So he'll be coming a little bit under pressure from Matsumaker. So we do see the debut of the Honda NSX here at TS3 Racing Series, and it's going to be really interesting to see that if we get those side-by-side, apologies, DJ, we see Vossi now actually overtake Warpath 360, and now they're swapping positions. They're going side by side, but it's Vossi that comes out with the lead on lap 2 of 10 here at Trackstars TS3. So excellent battling between these two guys, and this is going to be a real good classic. And I wish if you added Strict to the mix, it would have been a nice three-way battle between those guys.
Yeah, certainly, but we've got Renegade still stuck on the grid. I think he's jumped out now, but these two are going hell for leather at the moment. So it's really good to see Warpath isn't just checking out of the field. He's actually really got a challenger, and he's definitely taken it to that WRT Nissan there. But you can see him take a little bit of a defense line there. Vossi gets a little bit loose there, but don't count out. Look at this. You've got these two guys having a fight, but they're also coming closer to the lead.
They're going wide. He hits the barrier. Unlucky there. It's a bit too hard to go too wide there, so he was on the wrong side of the track, and Matsumaker drops a couple of car lanes behind Gordon 69. But these guys are closing up to Vossi and Warpath because those two are battling pretty hard, and they're going to close up on each other, and they're all going to bunch up, probably we'll say, on the last lap of the race. But what I did see there, Warpath has actually got a bit of a gap now over Vossi there. It's about 9/10 ahead of Vossi there. So he's pulled out a bit of a gap, he's pulled the plug, and he said, right, I've got to get my head down, I've got to make sure I get away from Vossi, because Vossi's going to be challenged. Looks like he's going to be the only challenger to Warpath 360's victory
close that gap. He closed that gap by 3/10 then in that corner. Wow. And he's in that slipstream. He's in that slip.
Absolutely, and he's coming through. He's getting that slipstream, and Warpath's trying to block him as much as he can without trying to compromise his straight line speed. But we see these guys going about to go side by side. Will Warpath take the defensive line? He does. Will Vossi be able to hold around the outside as they come into the braking zone? Oh, they're going side by side. Can he hold it? They still hold it. Vossi's got the lead of the race. Who's going to take the first place onto the chicane? It is Vossi in the number 40, taking the lead ahead of Warpath 360. An excellent battling, DJ, between these two drivers. Top caliber drivers in Vossi and Warpath. And look at that. Warpath has got a penalty, and he's had to burn that off, and he's going to lose track position. He's going to go right behind Gordon 69. Will he? No, he actually holds on to second, Justin. Oh, no, he doesn't. So Gordon 69 ahead of his teammate in Warpath. That is a crucial mistake for Warpath 360, DJ.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's an incredible mistake there, and a big unfortunate there too. Renegade. Oh, Matsumaker goes really wide there and does clang the wall, but yeah, unfortunately there for Renegade. He was stuck on the grid, but yeah. So we'll chuck you back in for race 2, but Vossi's checked out at the moment.
check down here, 2.6 over quarter 69. And I don't think, usually we've seen this a trend in TS3 where anytime you look at about two plus seconds in these cars because there's no journey, it's always really hard to try and reel that back in unless you know the track from the top of your head very nicely, or if it's all about just like the guy ahead of you making mistakes, because about 2+ second gap between Vossi and Warpath is a pretty substantial gap between those two drivers. So it's going to be hard for them to catch Vossi, but we could be seeing a Vossi victory tonight here, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time here at Trackstars Racing Series TS3, where it's been mostly dominated by Warpath 360 and Cyric in the early days of the championship, but then we saw Cortex 69 putting on a stellar performance at the Kyoto International Speedway, taking a clean sweep. So we might be able to see another victor in the record wars, and that might go to obviously for the ISR racing team.
Yeah, certainly, but Warpath really tags the wall there, but it sounded like a little bit of aliens at the moment, Spud, but we'll see if that clears up. But looks like Vossi may be getting his debutant win here, so not only does he get a debutant pole position, he also gets a debutant win, but there's still 5 laps to go, so I won't jinx it, and we'll,
That's right.
We'll see how it goes.
Alright, so as we're on lap 5, 10 less run to the grid, we've got obviously the number 40 ISO racing team, Nissan GT in first place, Gordwick and Warpath second and third for the WRT Motorsport team, with Soul Reaper actually right behind in fourth place, with Mats Mako in fifth with an unfortunate mistake at turn 3 with EBM QE. Honourable mention to EBM QE just jumping in at the last minute, getting some laps in and getting back in the Trackstars community, which is awesome to see. Holding in 6th place in the Lexus SC430 with Isar Benjo in 7th place, doing a nice solid job from the back of the grid from last place to 7th, so that's a solid performance for Benjo, with SS Boy 82 in 8th place. A nice showing for SS Boy, where the M&R boys have been a little bit lackluster in some of their performances, but I think with SS Boy's performance tonight so far, unless he gets overtaken by KPL Basement, I think regardless they look like they'll be going on the right track, moving themselves towards the front. But with Benstick right behind in 10th place, it's a little bit of a struggle, where they did actually show some good performances in the early rounds of TS3, but since probably I would say after Spa, I would believe, that was probably, or Nürburgring, I think that was a time where yes, the M&R boys has just struggled to find some pace and consistency in their cars.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, they had a pretty good showing there at Nürburgring, both SS Boy and NZL Cowboy. But since then, I don't think they'll be able to come to terms much with those Lexuses. They've dropped down the back half of the field, but he still hasn't got past. KPL Baseman still hasn't got past him at the moment, but he's definitely hot on his heels, with the gap being 0.4 at the moment. But he's got another M&R car behind him, and then another 2 cars behind that. So we've got Pos Tormentor and NZO Cowboy down here. So I think NZO Cowboy may have hit the wall a couple of times on lap 2 and 3. So unfortunately, he's all the way back down in 12th place, and Tormentor's down there in 11th. But keep going at it, boys, and we'll have a good show. But we go back to the front here. Vossi's certainly checked out.
He's checked out 4.1 over Warpath 360. He's actually gone past Gordon, and actually Mats Maka's gone past as well. So Mats Maka, we last saw him in 5th place. He's actually gone up into 3rd place. So this could be a double victory for the ISR camp, with both Vossi and ISR Mats Maka getting their debut podiums. And we'll have to wait and see how that Honda is in a straight line compared to these Nissans in the slipstream. But I feel like if Mats Maka can hold on, and he looks like he's doing a good job in that Honda, I must admit, full credit to him, absolutely. And I must admit, he's doing a really solid job in that Honda. If he could just keep ahead of this car in the 660, up in front of these guys, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see him actually not get challenged at all, because that gap is, look at that, it's only going down slowly, only like by about 0.010 of a hundredth of a second between those guys. Oh, as we see Gordok thinking about making a move on Mats Maka there. Unfortunately, that's not the best place to make a move, otherwise contact will be made. And as we see, almost a running together between those guys. Does Mats Maka hit the wall? He does. And as we see Gordok actually drop down, as we see a replay, let's try and catch an onboard from the from his position, and oh, he actually was contact, DJ. So Gordick has actually paid the price and given him a bit of a bump slap on Matsumaka's Honda NSX.
Yeah, and he hasn't taken that position. He has redressed it, so good on him. But that'll definitely be one for the stewards. But he did lose a position in that as well, so that's definitely put a 3-car fight in for the podium. But yeah, I guess that's the joys of having a field so close.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you didn't even see it, Soul Reaper, even if he starts to get his car up, as you Gordick, oh, just coming in. Like I said, he's the uncle of Nightwalker, and as we see those two WRT boys go side by side along this back straight, it's all the grunt between the Nissan and the Lexus. Hopefully they get some. Let's see who wins out on that battle between those two cars. But it looked pretty even so far, as we see. Looks like the Nissan's just got ahead of him, but Soul Reaper's going to get right behind him as we go. Does he go for the inside? Does he go for the outside? Does he stay right behind him? It looks like he's going to stay behind him. Coming up to just the corner before the chicane here, and oh, so close racing between those guys. Good stuff. But what they're doing is they're letting Matsumaka leave them for dead, and he's actually pulled out a good gap between himself and Gordick, 1.4. And if he keeps that car, if he keeps that Honda clean, he's going to be taking a 3rd place for sure.
Yeah, certainly. As we're crossing here now on the 9th lap, so we're on the 2nd last lap here. Got Vossi with a 3.5 second gap to Warpath 360. So Warpath has just put in the fastest lap with a 23.5 compared to Vossi's 23.8. So he's definitely on the charge.
Yeah, exactly right. I was going to say he's definitely making a move now, but it might be too little too late for Vossi and for Warpath to make a move on Vossi there. But he sets a good fast lap at 20. Is that a 23.5? 29.5? Or 23.5, yeah.
23.5, yeah. So Vossi did a 23.8 last time by. So Warpath was 0.3 faster, but 0.3 isn't much around here.
No. That's right, and it's the same cars with no tuning. We see Vossi actually go purple on the 9th lap, so he's responding to Warpath 360's fastest lap here. He's thinking, well, you might be faster with me with an overall package, but I'm here to fight. I'm here to challenge you for victories and podiums and even pole positions. So we'll wait for him to go around the final corner at the end of the 9th lap and onto the final lap here. We've got Vossi for ICE Racing Camp in 1st place as he doesn't actually go faster, unfortunately. So a bit of a sad climax for him to not take fastest lap, but we see him in 1st, Warpath in 2nd, and Matsumaka in 3rd place with a nice gap. And look at that, 4.2. So those two have come together, and as I look through that grid there, I don't see a Soul Reaper, and Soul Reaper looks like I wonder, have those two guys have the two teammates made contact when being off camera? Because they were side by side, and Soul Reaper is all the way down the back in 12th place. So something's happened between the two teammates in Gordick and Soul Reaper.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but it looks like he's done a 135 on the 1st lap, but other than that he's pretty constant. So I wonder if something's happened there. But we've got.
Well, I do apologise. That he's done it on that lap. So I did see his the overall lap time. You can see that he's
2 minutes 8. Yeah.
So something has happened on that lap. So he must have made a mistake coming into the hairpin before the back straight, but I'm not so sure. But what we know is for sure is that we're on the final lap, DJ, and no challenger for Vossi in the number 40 as he comes to round up the final corner here. And it's for the first time in the ISAR camp, we have a victor for ISAR Racing, and that belongs to Vossi in the number 40, taking the victory and the first race win for Vossi and the ISAR Racing team. So big congratulations to the number 40 driver, with Warpath 360 in 2nd place, with Matsumaka, a debuting podium for Matsumaka. So big credits to the Honda driver in 3rd place there. Excellent performance there, as we see Gordick and EBM queuing, almost going side by side there, and he just gets QE for 4th place, with QE in 5th place, and we see side by side action between those guys. Awesome racing with Benjo in 6th place. Honourable mention goes to Benjo in 6th place. And SS Boy, I would say he would take a 7th place out of that performance, holding off his teammate in Ben Stick and KPL Basement, who took a clean sweep of podiums at Bathurst. He'll take 7th place, that's for sure.
Oh, certainly. I'd definitely take that, but it looks like Oz Tormentor's made a bit of a mistake here on the exit of the chicane, but I'm thinking Cowboy. Oh no, Cowboy's down the back there. But yeah, that's very unfortunate for Soul Reaper there to drop all the way down to the back, which
So,
is
so
unfortunate for him.
yeah, so something definitely has happened, and we might whether it needs to be a steward's review or it needs to, or maybe it was just a mistake by Soul Reaper. We'll have to wait and see. But out of the 12 runners here, DJ, we still got the classic Nissan GTR taking all the victories here at Trackstars TS3, but this time doesn't belong to Sirik or Warpath or Gorda. It belongs to Vossi in the number 40 ISI Racing Team. So big congratulations for Vossi in the number 40, and I would assume that Budsy76, I've just seen in the chat right now, he is cheering his head off for Vossi there. So awesome performance there for Vossi in the ISR team, and their first victory at Trackstars.
Yeah, not only that, the podium there as well for Matsumaka, which is a debut for the Honda. So it's very good to see the debut for the Honda have such a strong performance at the moment. He's the only Honda in the field. No one else has picked one, which I'm very surprised.
He took a brave pill to take the Honda, but he is well, obviously in real life he is a metalhead, so he loves his heavy metal music. So obviously he's gone for something that's a little bit more, you could say, a little bit more spastic in a way when it comes to music, and obviously he needs a spastic car to go with that. So he chose the Honda, and hey, it works for him very well to hold off third place and to round out the podium, the final positioning on the podium. That's a solid performance.
Yes, certainly. But as we have a bit of a break here in between the two races, I might do a bit of a lobby reset, just so these guys can get a fresh one. So for the time being, please hang tight. Grab a beer or grab a Fanta if you're under the age of 18, and I'll be right back soon. Alright, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We just had to get all the lobbies sorted out, stuff like that. New lobby opening. We've got all entries in at the moment, so Renegade is in this time. New lobby reset should hopefully see all parties concerned be good to go. So Matsmaka's in. I just need to put him back into the right spot, and then we will go for race 2. So it was a definitely interesting race. Not seeing Warpath up the top there, but yeah, Bossy did an outstanding job.
Absolutely, and that performance was definitely top performance for Vossi, but we'll hopefully get maybe a bit more of a challenge in Warpath 360. Now he's had a bit of a break, maybe had a glass, maybe a glass of schooner of beer, or he maybe had a Fanta, like you said, depending what his age is, and refreshed his brain, and hopefully might be able to get a good start as we get ourselves ready to start the second race here at Trackstars TS3 for the Tokyo Sprint, where Sprint 1 has been taken out by Vossi in the ISAR camp, and who's going to take out race 2? We've got Vossi on pole, Warpath in second, and Ice Matsmaka in third place. So DJ, if you had to put your Monopoly money on, who's taking out race 2?
Well, as you say, place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely put it on to Vossi for this one. I'm giving the underdog a bit of a go.
So you think you might go for the clean sweep? So we've had a couple of clean sweeps over the last few weeks, and maybe Vossi might have a go. We'll wait and see as we wait for those lights to go green. We see the Nissans lead the way, and we are underway. Green flag racing, and as we see, stuck cars on the grid there. And unfortunately for Renegade, that's the second time round for him. He's not been able to get a start there, and that's just gone from bad to worse for Renegade. So very unlucky start for him. So feel bad for him, but unfortunately, but we do have a tight schedule here, ladies and gentlemen, here at Trackstars, and we have to get this race underway. But we see Warpath 360 leading the way ahead of Gordic in third place. So we got a WRT 1 and 3. With Benjo actually up into fourth place, DJ. So that's another solid start for Benjo in the Lexus 19.
Yeah, by the looks of it at the moment, it's a WRT versus ISAR, but yeah, it looks like Benjo's had a solid start. But unfortunately for Renegade, it didn't work, mate. We had a red flag in qualifying, we started you from the back, we reset the lobby, so unfortunately we just got to let it go. But you've had one drop round so far, and we'll add this to your second one. So unfortunately, mate, that's how it goes, but everyone gets a drop round, it's not just you. So maybe you might need to look at your internet or reset it or something like that. But we carry on, my friend, unfortunately for GT Sport shenanigans. But until then, we have the 6, 7, 8 car battle here at the moment. So they're all pretty close at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, they are pretty close as we see Warpath leading the way at the end of the first lap ahead of Vossi, but look at that, he's actually got himself a little bit more comfortable gap over Vossi now, so I wonder if that little break that he had has cooled himself down, and he's actually getting himself get a bit more of a clearer mind in leading the way ahead of Vossi and Gordic 69 with Benjo right behind. SS Boy doing a fantastic job in 5th place there, DJ, so honorable mention to SS Boy holding up from 8th place or 7th place on the grid up to 5th, so that's a solid start for him. But we see Matsmaka start to make a move on SS Boy around the outside. There's going to be a bit of a squeeze there between Boy and Matsmaka, but can he do it around the outside? As we see him go around the outside, and SS Boy loses 2 positions in one corner. No, he actually does, yes. So he goes from 5th to 2nd there, and what a lovely move from Matsmaka around the outside at the hairpin there. That was an amazing move from him.
Yeah, Kiwi went around the outside too, went really far around the outside. Yeah, that was very solid there. Oh,
exactly right.
Look at this battle going on. So it looks like Warpath has made a bit of a mistake.
So it looks like, well, I don't know if it's a mistake or the power of the slipstream between Warpath and Vossi there, but my goodness, this battle that we've been anticipating since Zurich left the TS3 Championship has actually come back into fruition with Vossi taking the first win, and he's now just dropped back a little bit, and he's got a penalty as well, DJ, so that's very unfortunate for Vossi. The same medication was given to Warpath 360 there. So he's had a taste of his own medicine for taking a shortcut penalty there, but so unlucky for Vossi. And now he's got a big charge, about 3.6, to try and close up to Warpath 360. So unlucky for Vossi.
Yeah, but it's not hard there to get a penalty at all, I'll tell you that much. But Warpath's got about 1.6 down to his teammate in Gordok, but look at this. Vossi's here and he's got Benjo not far behind him. And Matt Smacker's 0.5. Oh, Matt Smacker goes really deep under brakes there, but in practice, that Epson is incredibly strong under brakes. He can brake so late in that thing, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it is incredible. But look at this. Look at that train behind SS Boy. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, all the way, all queuing up right behind him. Well, 10th place, sorry. So he's queuing up, and NZL Cowboys having a nice little performance there from the back road to 10th place and gaining one position there, but he's right in the slipstream of his teammates. And oh, contact has been made between SS Boy and Soul Reaper. As we see that replay, very unusual, DJ, to have a contact there and a spin there. What happened here?
Oh, it's like a bit of a train there. So I think it looks like I think it was Soul Reaper tried to go up the inside, and then he got a bit of a nudge from Baseman. So it kind of looks like it's a bit of a chain reaction from that one.
It's interesting. That is definitely one that's going to be taken to the stewards. That's for sure. So unfortunately for SS Boy, a solid performance, but he hasn't dropped too much far back, but he's just losing a little bit of performance there, a bit of confidence. Well, Soul Reaper did drop back. He's down in 12th place. So I wonder if he did actually redress that incident that he had with SS Boy. So it'll still look like it'll be going to the stewards. So it could be a bit of a bitter pill for Soul Reaper and that mistake.
Yeah, it can definitely be a strong one, but as we do that, we've got Vossi charging onto the back of Gordok, and we do have Renegade in chat. Mate, as we were saying earlier, we did red flag qualifying, we reset the lobby, and it's not like you're going to get no points. We will give you points for both your races, and it'll go to one of your 2 drop rounds. So everyone gets 2 drop rounds, so it's not just you, mate. Yeah, we did all we can, but we're running on a very tight schedule each night. We do racing, so unfortunately that's just the way it goes. It'd happen the same thing for main series. We do get reserve drivers in, but unfortunately you guys don't have a team's championship. But mate, it's what we do here, and we'll take all aspects into consideration. But as we say that, Vossi goes purple, and he's really on the back there of Gordok.
Incredible showing, and he just clips the wall just very wide there for Vossi there in 3rd place on the back of Gordok 69. So that if it stays like this, obviously the overall win will go to Warpath 360. But if Vossi can get 2nd place, it'll actually go to Vossi with bragging rights with the pole position and that qualifiers. So it's very crucial for Vossi to make a move on Gordok 69 here and to take the overall victory. But I don't think he's looking for an overall victory and a 2nd place teacher. I think he's looking for that 1st place, and that 1st place is taken by Warpath 360.
Yes, certainly. I mean, that's a 3.6 second gap. It's going to be very hard, especially being Warpath. Oh, he just clips the wall there coming into the tunnel, but Vossi makes a move there on Gordok. So at the moment,
touching and side by side between Vossi and Gordok. They're going side by side out of the tunnel into the corner here. Does he go around the outside? He has done. Has he cleared him though? Yes, he has. So beautiful move. So that's twice he's made a move on the outside on the 2 WRT cars. And now he's gotten clear of Gordok 69. He's now on the charge towards Warpath 360. He's got about 5 laps, DJ, so let's keep an eye on that gap very closely on what that gap is. About 3.6. We'll hopefully see what the gap is on the end of lap 10, whether it's going to be right on his bumper or maybe at least a couple of seconds right behind. But time will tell. But let's go through the group. We've got Warpath 360 for the WRT Motorsport in 1st, with Vossi in 2nd and Gordok in 3rd place, where we got a great performance there from Kiwi. He's actually pulled a really good margin ahead of Benjo, holding 4th place on his debut race. There's a big credits to him, and a big and a strong performance for EBM Kiwi in 4th place, with Benjo 19 in 5th. KPL Baseman right on the tail of Benjo. So KPL Baseman, as Benjo decides to go defensive there, KPL breaks a little bit earlier, just try and avoid contact there. So the slipstream is going to be very crucial for him to overtake Benjo, with NZL Cowboy in 2nd place, ISA Matsmaka in 8th place, and then Ben Stick in 9th place, and SS Boy rounding out the top 10 with Soul Reaper and Oz Tormentor 11th and 12th place. So a little bit of unfortunate events for the Lexus WRT cars, but hopefully they'll be able to regroup, try and get that car sorted out for the next round, for the next 3 rounds actually, as we conclude our TS3 championship. But still leading the way, it is Warpath 360. Look at that, DJ, 2.7 seconds. So he's taken literally almost a full second out of Warpath. That is incredible.
Yeah, I think Vossi's finally coming to terms with that Nissan. He's gone purple again. He's put in a 123.3 and Warpath's put in a 124.5. So that gap is closing. Don't count Vossi out yet. He's put a 4-second gap to Gordok. So Vossi has really got his helmet visor down and he's charging to Warpath. Mate, Warpath, watch out and be careful. As he goes purple here by 0.16. So, mate, Vossi's on the charge.
Oh, this is incredible. Hopefully he's still got Sirik in the championship and he's looking on amongst Warpath 360. He thought that Warpath wouldn't have a challenger anymore for his for victories, but look no further. We have Vossi in the number 40 ISAR Racing Team Nissan GTR coming towards Warpath in 1.9 seconds now. We're on lap 7 of 10. DJ, can he actually make the move on Warpath at the end of the race?
I'm not counting him out at all, mate. He's pulled that down to 2 seconds, and 2 seconds is not much. As he goes purple by 0.1 again, so Vossi's on. Vossi's really found something around here. Oh, he tags the wall a little bit there. No, that's going to lose you a couple of tenths. So he's lost 3 tenths there. As long as he can get it back in, doesn't run really wide there. Nice, and he pulls a little bit of time back there. But yeah, he was definitely on the charge there. I think.
Oh, it's gonna be fine margins, that's for sure. So we'll keep an eye on that battle pack for sure. Let's see if we can find. I think the whole field is more or less spread out. But as we see, actually go back to 4th place, we see QE actually starting to close in on Gordic 69. So can we see another debutant making a podium appearance in EBM QE in 4th place? So that'll be interesting to see for QE's performance and for EBM, the main sponsors of the Trackstars Racing Series. The Trackstars Racing Series Racing League here on Gran Turismo Sports. So EBM QE could be putting on a solid performance for his team at EBM and getting themselves a debut podium here at Trackstars TS3.
Yeah, he's really closed that gap down, so I definitely wouldn't want to count QE out for a podium. So as long as he keeps it pretty steady, he'll be able to hunt the back of Gordok there, but we'll keep an eye. Looks like that Nissan has a lot better exit speed than what that Lexus does, but he's not losing too much time. He's starting to gain back a little bit of time there on each of the gear changes for that Nissan, but yeah, he's not out of it yet.
No, it's just about a second and a half there, so he's closing in. Oh, as Vossi goes wides again, so he's really trying to push that Nissan to the limit, and I feel like Warpath's just getting a little bit more of a comfortable situation now, so it's about 2.4 between Warpath and Vossi there, so it's not closing fast enough for Vossi, so he's running out of time, DJ, so he needs to find something special on this lap, on lap 9 of 10, so he needs to find pull a rabbit out of the hat, try and find some time. But as we see down in 3rd place, EBM QE has made the move on Gordic 69 in 4th place as we try to catch a replay there. So he's actually done it before the start finish line, so Gordic got a bad run out of the chicane and gave the spot to QE, and QE looks like he's on a podium charge from 5th place from race 1 there. So EBM QE, you'll be welcoming the sights of the podium very shortly, but Gordok is right on your tail and he's not giving up, that's for sure.
No, certainly he's not giving that up at all.
Is he going for an over and under on EBM QE? Almost pulled that off there. That would have been a stellar move for Gordok 69 there, doing a switchback on EBM QE. But so close. But we've got some honorable mentions in KPL Baseman actually doing a solid performance. He's now cleared Benjo, and the gap between him and Benjo is probably extended out a little bit there. So yeah, there you go, about 3 seconds between him and Benjo. So good shout out, good strong performance there for KPL Baseman, who's been showing himself, making his name known in the Trackstars Discord, and he's obviously well respected amongst the TS3 drivers, and he's putting on some good performances with podiums with podium positionings at Bathurst, and with a top 5 here at race 2 in Trackstars.
Yeah, he does join in with the banter of me, Papa, Woodsy, and stuff like that. So it's good to see someone else getting involved. But yeah, he's definitely made himself known. But he's slowly starting to move up that grid at the moment. But Vossi hasn't really closed up that gap. So unfortunately, at the moment as it sits, Vossi will get the round win, but they'll be tied on finishing positions.
Tied on point.
Yeah, so So finishing positions, they'll be tied, and they'll also be tied on points. But Vossi will be getting
Oh,
first. Oh, he
look at
closed
that.
that up.
He ran wide on that at the exit of the hairpin there. So he's lost a little bit of time, but it's not enough to try and make any charge towards the back of Warpath 360. Unless Vossi finds something dramatic down at the chicane here, or Warpath gets a penalty at the chicane here. This is what Vossi doesn't want. He doesn't want that kind of pressure. He had a 2-second gap. It's dropped down to 1.2, so no mistakes here. Warpath down the chicane as he's got a little twitch there. He runs a bit wide. So he's finding a little bit of pressure there. So as it comes towards the chicane, how does he take that? He takes that perfectly. So no mistakes at all for Warpath 360. A big congratulations, leading up the start of race 2 for the WRT Motorsport team. It is Warpath 360 taking the victory. Another victory to the record books for Warpath 360 in the WRT Motorsport, with Vossi in second place and taking the round win ahead of Warpath 360 with EBM Kiwi. A big congratulations to Kiwi, getting his first podium at TS3 Track Stars, with Gordok 69 in fourth. Bit of a not a great time for Gordok there in that second race, with KPL Baseman in fifth, Benjo rounding up in sixth place, and then we've got Isa Matsumaka in seventh place. Soul Reaper has come through the field to get eighth place there, with Ben Stick and SS Boy, the two M&R cars, in ninth and 10th, with Oz Tormentor in 11th place. And something must have happened to NZL Cowboy, because he was high up as 7th place or 8th place there. So a bit unfortunate for Cowboy, but man, this is going to be a great battle between Warpath and Vossi, that's for sure.
Yeah, certainly. And I wonder if Sirik was still in the series, it would be a three-way fight. But yeah, it's going to be definitely a certain on for the on for young and old, as they say, coming into the end of the towards the end of the season. But definitely a good showing there by Warpath, and especially Vossi. He definitely turned that Nissan GTR up a lot compared to his last couple of rounds.
And he's found something in that Nissan. He's been showing some good performances at the beginning where he debuted in the back at Spa, and then it's just been constantly performing in the top 5, and then around about the top 8, and then he started to close his way up towards the front end within the podium positionings, and now to take a victory and a pole position here tonight at Tokyo Expressway. That is something to do. That is something pretty interesting for. That is pretty a solid performance there for Vossi in his short track stars career.
Yeah, certainly, and I wouldn't be surprised if I see him in TS2. He's definitely come in and shown that they can both take to it. But Warpath as well. I wouldn't be surprised if I see Warpath in TS2 as well.
Well, we could see. Well, who knows? Well, if WRT is putting an interest for Nightwalker to race main series next year, we might see Warpath make the transition to the main series. But we'll have to wait and see in 2022 as we round up through the grid, with Warpath taking the victory, with Vossi the overall round victory on via pole position in second place. EBM Kiwi, a solid performance for Kiwi, and Gordok and KPL Baseman in fifth place, with Benjo. Bit of a quiet round for him, but a good solid performance there for his championship, and holding off third place in the table in sixth place with Matsumaka. A bit of an unfortunate race 2 for him after taking a podium in race 1. And then Soul Reaper, him and SS Boy will be definitely going to the stewards room, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it might have been a bit. It might have been a bit of a bit of a three-car issue there, but I think by the looks of it, he tried to make the move up the inside of SS Boy and got a bit of a bump there from Baseman, and just a bit of a chain reaction, I guess, and just turned one of the cars around. But we'll definitely leave that one to the stewards. So no need to go off at each other if you're in the stream. Just let the stewards deal with it. We will have it all looked at and assessed, and results will be up in due course. But until then, that was definitely a good race, especially race 1. That was awesome.
That was awesome, and we're seeing 2 victors tonight here at Trackstars Series 3. Coming up shortly, we have the Trackstars TS2 Championship, where it looks like the only challenger that's going to come towards Viper Set is only going to be the likes of Duram 50 and Xylon 96 for the victory and podium outings here at Trackstars Racing Series. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself and DJ and the TS3 drivers, we'll catch you guys in an hour's time